Macro and micro are terms used throughout the competitive gaming community. Essentially, macro and micro provide two based elements to any given player's gameplay. Their mechanical ability, micro, like aim, ability comboing, and player movement. All the things that we see and go, wow, that guy is crazy good. And then their abstract thinking, macro, like decision making, ability usage, and overall strategizing capabilities. The two go together like peanut butter and jelly. You can't have one without the other and expect to be as good as you can possibly be. What use is crazy aim if you're dead 24/7 because you have no idea how to position? Similarly, what good is your incredible decision making if you miss every shot? Mediation is the key to maximizing your ability as a player to affect and win games. Positioning is often overlooked when considering what plays a role in winning and losing games. Yet, your positioning relative to your team's and the enemy team's positioning is what dictates your ability to provide consistent value. Value is essentially your impact on the game, and it encompasses much more than just getting elims or putting out damage. Value can be damaging enemy shields, pressuring enemy healers so they can't as easily heal their teammates, even controlling space and cutting off parts of the map from the enemy team. Pro players, of course armed with incredible mechanic skill, also have a very good understanding of all the little things that go into winning and losing fights. Of course, picking both supports with crazy shots will win you the fight, but that isn't a consistent enough situation to be able to rely on it all the time. What is much more consistent is looking for plays with your teammates, understanding when you're at an advantage and utilizing that, identifying enemy win conditions, etc. As you become more and more comfortable with your mechanical skill, the game adopts a more strategy-focused element where outthinking the enemy is much more reliable than just acting off of impulse. It is no longer, can I hit this shot? Rather, it is going for this shot the best option? Or can I do something else that can provide more or will have a better chance at providing value for my team? And just to come full circle, positioning is what makes it possible for you to do things like pressure the enemy Widowmaker, cut off support line of sight, and provide that consistent value that will, in the long run, win you more games. You may think that the game is as simple as, I get picks, we win, but there is often a lot more that goes into it. Are you getting these elims after your team is already lost? Are you picking high value targets? The reality is, if you realize that an enemy Widowmaker is the sole reason they are winning, you could win a fight just by pressuring her off of your team. Without an elim to show for it, you've made space for your team to do their job just by identifying a high value target on the enemy team and shutting them down with superior macro gameplay. But how the hell am I supposed to know where to be? Great question. The simple answer is you have to play the game a lot. Trying things out and recognizing if they work or not, why they did or did not work, will slowly develop into an almost subconscious ability to have good positioning. Some simple questions you can ask yourself in game to check if you're in a good spot is 1. Can I do my job? And 2. Am I safe? With good positioning, your answer to both questions should be yes. Otherwise, analyze the game around you and get the hell out of there. It's a lot harder to analyze your gameplay while you're in the act of playing, so I recommend that after a win or loss, hop into your replays and try to find out why you won this fight or why you lost this one. Pay attention to the little things and avoid blaming your teammates. Ownership will promote the focus on the elements you can change, such as your own gameplay, and veer focus away from the things you can't, such as that smurf on the enemy team or your crap teammates. Think about what you could have done better, and go into the next game a more developed player. Prediction is another element to Gamesense, as it allows you to be steps ahead of your opponents mentally. This means you can plan for things before they happen, like a Zen holding Transcendence because they realize that the enemy Zarya has Grav or will have it soon. Unfortunately, this isn't a skill that you can necessarily practice. It comes from playing the game, much like a good understanding of positioning does. The most I can give you is to attempt to be conscious of specific heroes and their styles of gameplay. Understanding that Doomfist is a dive hero, and knowing that dive heroes often go for squishy targets who are out of position, allows you to predict that he will look for openings on your most diveable teammates. Recognizing that is the first step, but you should have a plan for when that happens. Switching to a stun character to peel for your team is an effective way to shut down his ability to get value. Again, I thank you for watching the video, and I hope it helped.